Hello, my flossy friends. This is Tyler with WillitStitch. I'm here for my end of February, beginning of March Flosstube update. I can't believe March is tomorrow. Today is Saturday, February 28th. I got a lot of stitching done in February. I have 3 new starts to share. I've got 11 whips that I worked on. I have at least 1, maybe 2 planned starts in March, and then just a little bit of haul there at the end. This year is supposed to be a no-buy, low-buy for me, but I did purchase some things from the Silver Needle earlier this month. So I'm just going to dive right into the stitching. These are in no particular order. I've just got them in a basket. I've unzipped the bags, and we're just going to go as we go. First, I know my last video, I had showed this as a potential new start, and I actually ended up starting it that evening. This is Elizabeth Broadhead 1833 from Fox and Rabbit. I love how crisp and clean this pattern looks. It's so beautiful. And so that night that I filmed my end of January, beginning of February update, I did start this. I think I only worked on it a couple days. I didn't get too far into it. This is being stitched 1/2 on a 40 count Cloud Dancer. That is one of Phoebe at Moonshine Stitchery's new fabrics this year. And I'm using the called for flosses. And that was the 31st of January that I started this project. And I do actually have a little board. I brought back my quote cutting board that we'll see. I'm going to try to stick these on here if I can do it in a timely manner. So nothing fancy over here, y'all. So this is my start on her. So I did a top center start. I typically like to do a top center start when a pattern will fit with a fairly slim margin, like across the width of a fat quarter. So that's what I like to do, so that I've got even margins on either side, and then I'll just hop down like 2-3 inches. So I started doing the bones of that border, and then popped in, did some of those in there, came down. I think that's supposed to be a rabbit. No, it's a little bird. So she is going to be a big girl. And working these little square blocks right in there, those were kind of intense. But super pretty. I love this fabric. It's like a creamy white fabric. I do enjoy stitching on lighter fabrics typically. I mean, most of the time, if a project calls for like a white, it'll ghost, because I don't know. I gravitate towards lighter fabrics. So that was Elizabeth Broadhead that started January 31st. I'm just going to pile these up on the table. The second one that I started, I did join in Tara Sullivan's, what was it, like 250 kickoff or something like that. So this was started during the Super Bowl this year. And I don't know about anybody else, but that was probably the most boring Super Bowl game I've ever watched in my life. This whole NFL season was pretty boring, actually. So, and my family's team is the Miami Dolphins. We're Miami Dolphins fans through and through, so we are used to being cut pretty early in the season. So, whatever. This is Liberty from With Thy Needle and Thread. I'd purchased this at Market last year. Never started it. Which is why this year I haven't done any pre-orders for Market. Just because. Why? When here it is, Market the following year, and I'm just starting this. So, love this. I'm using all the called for flosses, and I'm stitching this 1/2 on a 36 count scrap of Lakeside. Do I have a project card? I don't feel like I do. I do, but all I say is 36 count scrap of Lakeside. Cool. I did make a mistake here. Somehow I miscounted the inner and the outer border. When I was counting at some point the inner border, I thought I was working on the outer border. So she is 2 stitches too wide. So I've got a frog, I believe, from here to here. I don't know. I knew what it was that I needed a frog when I was working on it, but then I got annoyed and put her away. So there in the eagle, we do have some Algerian eyelets. Those were obviously really fun to stitch and went by super quick. So that is Liberty. All right. And the next project that I started, this is actually a design from my friend Terry. She is just starting to design. She is known as the Stitching Lark on Instagram. She actually filmed a Flosstube, one video, last month in spite of me and our friends because we kept trying to pressure her into doing it. But she's come out with a free design. It's on her website, thestitchinglark.com. I will try and get that posted down in the description box below. But this is my start on it. My friend Wendy, a Stitch in the Matrix, she is also working on it. I believe she's got the border completely done and has started on some of those center motifs. And Wendy is stitching hers using the called for flosses but different fabric. Terry is stitching her design called for floss and called for fabric. I'm stitching mine with neither called for floss or called for fabric. I'm doing a complete color conversion. And then our friend Sarah, who actually just posted her very first Flosstube this morning, she is doing stitching from stash, same thing, floss and fabric. So we're all kind of doing different things, so it's really going to be interesting to see how they turn out. But I need to go ahead and get back to this one because I am everyone else is further along than me. I don't know why my words just got jumbled. This is being stitched 1/2 on a 36 count parchment from Weeks, and this is a Zweigart based Weeks, so it's been nice to work on. So yeah, a beautiful little freebie. This is the final design. There were a couple iterations that she kind of shared with us throughout her design process. And like I said, I'm just using a mix of my own flosses. I might change some of these, like that blue is looking a little bright, but we'll see. So those are what I started. I don't even know when I started that. I'd have to go back through. my camera roll. I need to make a project card for that one. Next, I've got the 11 whips that I worked on. This first one I'm going to show, I did post this on Instagram last night. This is Jane Fittis, 1835, from Hands Across the Sea Samplers. I do have goals for every project as far as like stitchy goals. The goal on this project is to finish the center border here and then take this outer border all the way across and down, I believe. I worked a little bit on this and a little bit on the border, but primarily I worked on this alphabet. I brought it all the way up to the center. I did a letter there. That heart started on the W, and then I'm working on these eyelet letters in here. I did that tree, and then just a little in the border. So I got a lot done on this, and I'm excited to show you. I am going to be popping in photos that I took at the beginning of the year, so whenever I filmed my whip parade, but the lighting is way off in those photos because I took those photos, you know, right after ironing with my window open, the sun blaring in, so the color of the fabric is like not true for really any of the photos that I took, which is kind of annoying, but I was just trying to get photos. So this is where I got to honor. I'm going to set it over here so that I can put the before photo up. Wow. So you can see all this alphabet here, a little bit, well, a good chunk of the border up at top. This, all of this, that, and the tree. I really, really, really enjoyed working on Jane Fittis. And every time I pull out the 100 threes, I'm really unsure as to whether or not I like them. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. For this project, I really, really like the 100 threes. So, that is Jane Fittis. I don't know that I'm going to work on her in March. I really want to get back to Hannah Campbell this month. All right. Right there. What is this next one? Cardinal Kin. I must have worked on this just a little bit at the very beginning of this month, because I don't remember really working on this a whole lot. From Plum Street. I know she's being stitched 1/2 on a 36 count scrap of Lakeside. Again. Oh gosh. There we go. Let me just clip this to this board real quick. All right. This is where I'm at on Cardinal Kin. I think earlier this month, I really just worked on the male cardinal right in here. Maybe a little bit in the leaves. I don't think so, though. I think it was just him that I was working on. Love it. It's ridiculous that this isn't finished. This small project. All that progress I got on Jane Fittis, I could have had this done. Oh well. I don't know what it is about smalls. I just don't pull them. And it's like, I could have so many more finishes if I just worked on smalls. I don't know. Here's another small. I didn't finish this goal in February. This is Valentine's House Trio from Waxing Moon Designs. My goal was to finish this entire block here, which I'm stitching these all in one row, so just one house next to the other, this one being in the middle. And I didn't even finish the words Valentine, and I think I had V and A in there. Anyways, it's still sitting in the SKU snap. It's been in the SKU snap for over a month, because I know I worked on this in January. And it's pitiful. It'll be quick. It'll be quick and easy for me to pull this out and finish the center block this year. I mean, that's all I have to do is finish the center block. And my goal on this will be done for the year. And I couldn't even do that in February. In the month of love, I couldn't even do that. Oh well. Alright, the next project that I worked on, this is Maryann Farmer from the Scarlet House. Oh, this one does something. I don't know what it is about this project. I just am obsessed. I love her. So I know I finished out this bouquet here. I started on this like little border down here, and I got several rows done, or several columns done, and then thought, I want to do a specialty stitch in there. So I ripped it all out, and I haven't decided on the specialty stitch. So let's see where I ended up getting to on her. She is being stitched 1/2 on a 40 count. Bear with me, I will grab that project card. 1/2 on a 36 count fog by Picture This Plus, and I'm using the Vicki Clayton silks. I can't remember if she had a silk pack on her website or if I took her DMC conversion chart and just did it myself. I know I've got several projects that I've done that for. Just used her DMC chart and did my own conversion and just ordered the silks individually. I don't know if I did that here or not. So I know I finished out these two flowers, started working down here. I think I did that. I think that's new. And then as you can see, like where I had stitched probably up to his first little leg, that little dog, and then ripped it all out. But this one does have a goal to be finished this year. Again, initially I did a top center start, worked my way to the right, and then down is what I'm doing. Oh, but these colors are so good. Vicki Clayton's DMC conversion chart, phenomenal. It's top tier. So that is Maryann Farmer. I don't know if I'll work on her in March. I really have no idea what I'm going to do in March. I know there is something I am going to be working on, which I'll share after we go through the rest of these whips. But other than that, I don't know. Next one is Brick House Sampler from With Thy Needle and Thread. One of my all-time favorite. This is just the most beautiful stitch. I think that I have in my rotation. It's just so good. Though, this month I did realize I accidentally... So there's 3 blues. There's a dark blue, a medium blue, and then a light blue. For whatever reason, I mixed the light and the medium blue. So all these flowers, these blue flowers down here, even in the bird, I used the wrong blue. I'm just going to roll with it. Whatever, my blue flowers aren't as vibrant as they should be. The bird looks beautiful. We're rolling with it. We are rolling with it. I'm not about to frog out. I think I have 3 of these blue flowers now. I'm not about to frog those out. We're not doing it. So, where's my project card? Here we go. Mine is being stitched 1/2 on a 36 count willow from Stitch Me. And it does fit on the width of a piece of 36 count, which is really nice because I'm going to have like 2/3 of the fabric left for something else. So here's where I am. I have a full page finish on that side. Other than, I mean, these are like some straight stitches. Other than that, started working in the house. I finished that bouquet right next to the house. Continued working on some of those lower flowers. But as you can see, my blue flowers are pretty dull in comparison to the cover photo because, like I said, I swapped the 2 blues, and that's so upsetting. But also my, what is that color? Bear with me just a moment. My wood rose, my Gentle Arts wood rose is much lighter than is what is charted. So wood rose is in this tall flower right here. So as you can see, theirs is like much brighter pink. Mine's more dull. So just a few things like that, but all in all, I am absolutely loving this project. She's so pretty, and this is the perfect fabric for it. Oh my goodness, I need another piece of this willow. This is so good. So, Brick House Sampler from With Thy Needle and Thread. 10 out of 10. I mean, I recommend that one to everybody. It looks like I've got 6 more. My goodness, I worked on a lot this month, didn't I? Next one I've got is Dasher and Dancer from Hobby House Press. I've seen so many people finish this year, and people have gotten so creative with using greens or reds or all different colors. I am using a red. Called for is Gentle Arts Mulberry, which is one of my absolute favorite floss of all time. But this, to me, is considered, I'm considering this like an heirloom piece, right? So I am using Gloriana Silk in Bordeaux. I've got gold accents, which are going to be what the animals are interacting with, is going to be in the gold accents. I'm using Gloriana Lacquered Gold. And then the animals themselves, I'm stitching in black, and I'm using Swaddle Noir because I wanted the animals to be like black holes on the fabric, like dense, you cannot see through them, like black, black, black. And I have achieved that. Now, This is being stitched 1/2 on a 46 count squirrel nutkin from Tabby Cat Linens. And yes, the Swadoge is a little thick on it, but I think the payoff is so good. So good. So let me just clip her in. All right. So here is where I got to on her. So I finished the queue and went all the way to the edge. Though I did realize the last 3 letters are stitched too short. Ugh. So as you can see, like where my floss is sticking out right there is where the edge should be. So I'm just a stitch up, which means the X is a stitch too tight. So I've got to frog the X, the Y, and the Z and restitch, but I did find the edge of her. So this is how wide she's going to be. This was started on the 1st of October, 2025. I do need to frog the gold out of that basket there, because I had since decided the gold's only going to be used for interacting with the animals. And this is also going to be a submission to the Pensacola Interstate Fair this year, which is in October. So I do need to get going on this one to have it done and framed, ready to be submitted in October. Dasher and Dancer. What is this? Ah, yes. Next, this month I've been working on Harvest Moon from Annie Bees. This one is so good too. The house is massive. But I'm loving it. And I swapped the color of the house and the roof. So the house is supposed to be this purple, the roof's supposed to be blue. I'm doing purple roof, blue house. Other than that, everything is as called for except for the fabric. I am stitching mine 1/2 on a 40 count. I think it's Salt Rock by Color and Cotton. No, 40 count Tinsmith by Color and Cotton. And I'm using all of the called for flosses. This was started last April, I believe it was April 8th of 2025 for Stitchy Linda and Peter over at Oh For Pete's Sakes birthdays. They did Spring Moon by Plum Street, and I decided to do Harvest Moon by Annie Bees. So I finished out this pumpkin entirely. I worked a little bit on some of these flowers in the vine. I think I had like 15 or so stitches for the flagpole to do. Brought that over. Worked a lot of this blue in the house. Did the white for this window. Some of the gray. And I think that's really it. But I made it all the way to the edge of the house. Oh, and I finished the white going across. So My goal this year is to finish the top half of the house, so from this white up, and then all of these vining tulips, which as part of my goal, I don't think I realized that I also had tulips on the bottom, so I'm only doing the 2 on the side as my goal for 2026. Oh, so good. This is so good. Oh, I love her. I wish I had more stitchy time. But it's his life, isn't it? Especially here now that we're coming into spring. I don't know about anybody else, but here in Florida, like, the grass is starting to grow. It's starting to grow quick, too. So it rained yesterday. I was going to cut the grass today, but the ground's still pretty wet. And where I live, like, the water table is only a couple feet underneath the surface of the ground. So it's when it rains at my house, the ground stays wet for a long period of time, and it can make it really difficult to cut the grass. But I'm thinking by tomorrow it should be dried out, so I think I'm going to do my first cut of the season tomorrow on March 1st. The next project that I worked on, this is Away We Ride from Blackbird Designs. I am doing mine 1/2 on a 36 count Cosmic Platinum linen. That is a Dames of the Needle fabric. Stunning. One of the most beautiful fabrics I think that I have in my stash. I'm using all the called for flosses except Gentle Arts Garden Gate. I'm using Gentle Arts Storm Clouds. And I am doing a lot of changes of like the colors and where the colors go. I also changed the color of the house. I'm doing a purple house. So in the chart, we've got Garden Gate and Onyx are supposed to swap in and out. So part of the pattern, the vine is Onyx, another part it's Garden Gate, and then Onyx and Garden, you know, so on and so forth. And then the cones swap the same way. And so on mine, I'm just doing Storm Clouds as the entire vine, and then Onyx is all of the acorns, or, you know, whatever it is, the flower buds. And then just using the colors just kind of where I see fit. I'm just having a lot of fun just really making this my own. So this was started on the 2nd of May, 2025. And this is where I got to. So I don't think I did a whole lot on this. I think I did some of the outlines for the windows, and then I did more of the purple house. And in the house, I'm using Weeks Basil and what is my other purple? I haven't written it down yet because it was kind of a last minute change that I decided to do. So Weeks Basil and Weeks Stepping Stones are the two purples that I'm using. So Stepping Stones is that darker purple that's in the chimney here. It's going to be throughout the house too. And then Basil is all of this lighter purple. Which, when you're looking at it, that basil, in some areas, it almost looks neon. Like, it's crazy. But it's so pretty. I just love Blackbird. Though I wish I could have probably tilted this project to fit this way on this piece of fabric, but oh well, I still have enough for, I don't know, Maybe like a bookmark or something on this side. It's good. This is another one that I do want to have finished this year. Okay. Whew. I'm going to have a lot to clean up. All right. This next one, this was a birthday start for my friend Terry. This was going to be a birthday start for me, but I can't even remember what I did for my birthday. It wasn't this. This is Augustine Testar. This is from Fittis. What was that? I don't know what that was. And I am using Vicki Clayton silks for this project. She had, I believe, a silk pack for this, if I'm not mistaken. Or I may have just gone in, like I said, and used her DMC conversion chart to make my own. But, oh, I love this. I was hoping that this was going to be a fair submission this year. But I quickly realized when I started working on that top border and those letters that it was just not going to happen for me. So this was started on the 6th of November, being stitched 1/2 on a 40 count harbor from Moonshine Stitchery. And I'm using the Vicki Clayton silks. And this has like every color in the rainbow. It is so pretty. And I love this fabric too. This is a really good color. It's like a blue-gray. I've got a thread on a needle. Cool. I think I was working on that top alphabet. This is where I'm at. So I know I was filling in the flowers on this border up here. And then I was working on, I think, this alphabet and this alphabet. Can't quite remember. But she's good. Again, this was a top center start. Worked my way over to the right. I love her. I cannot wait to get to that huge, well, I've already started in that huge bouquet, but to get to some of the color in that bouquet. Ugh. Love her. And like I said, this is a beautiful piece of fabric. It's like a blue-gray. Really, really nice. And I think probably she'll come down to here, maybe? I haven't measured, but have a fair bit left over. I've got another Fittis that is part of my haul that you'll see at the end of this that I think I might be starting in March. Maybe. All right, 2 more. This next one, this is a Spirit Dancer. This is from Lavender and Lace. She's being stitched 2/2 on a 32 count flax. This was initially started the 24th of August, 2025. This is what she looks like. Beautiful, ethereal. Love everything about this design. Oh my gosh. She's good. I've also got, what is the other one? Dreamcatcher? I think I have that one in stash as well. I think I'd like to do that one after this one. I don't think I can handle more than one of these at a time. These lavender and lace are pretty intense. It definitely feels more intense than Mirabilia's, for sure. For me, at least. So, this is where I got to. So I put several strands in. I think last time I only had just like a bit up in here. I think I had only put 2 strands in. But essentially I am trying to color complete one color, one of the greens up in the top area, so that just so that I don't get confused. But I really enjoyed working on this whenever I had it out. So that is Spirit Dancer. All right. And the last whip that I worked on. Y'all. This is Flowers of Quaker by Rosewood Manor. This one's no joke. Lots of color changes. But, oh, the payoff is so good. I worked on this several days, I believe. And I was really enjoying my time working on it. This was a New Year's start last year, so I started it January 1st of 2025. I'm stitching it 3 strands over 2 on a 28 count mushroom Lugana. And that's using the called for Valdani spools. So these spools, they're 3 stranded. And on the 28 count, it calls to just cut it off the spool and use it. So that's what I'm doing. All right, let's get this on here. I think I had gotten some good progress on this one. To be honest with you, I can't really quite remember what I really even did. Or if I can get this hooked up, bear with me, y'all. I'm trying to be semi-professional at this. So here's where we got. I do know I had finished out this motif here. I think there's another color that goes in the center here. I know I worked on this. This, I believe. I think I put in some of the yellow in a few of these areas. I don't know. You'll see a comparison photo. But she's coming along. I mean, she's definitely going to be a long-term project. I did enjoy working on her, but I can't work on her for an extended period of time. Just because, like I said, the color changing in this project is intense. All right. That is everything I worked on in February. So, as far as moving into March, I do know for sure. So, Melanie over at Uplift Stitches, her birthday is, I believe, if I remember correctly, she said it's the first week in March. So, she is hosting a bird day sale. I'm just calling it the bird day sale because the day is just too difficult. So she's encouraging everybody to either work on a project that features a bird or start a project that features a bird. I may do both. So I'm thinking I'm going to work on the woodpecker from Cottage Garden Samplings Year in the Wood series #1. I think I'm going to work on her. Let's just see for funsies where she's at. This is where she's at right now. So, ooh, it might be fun to work on that red up here. I might do that. I might do that. Or finish filling in this gray. We'll see. I think I'm going to work on this, but I'm also thinking I might start another one from the series. I've got the Bald Eagle, and I have the Barn Owl. These are both kitted, fully kitted. So I have the floss and the fabric. These two are going to be using the same piece of fabric. So I might start one of these. I might start both of them. But I have a piece of 40 count wild mint from Atomic Ranch. For those. And then I have, you know, both of their flosses on different drops. So, Bald Eagle, Barn Owl. So I might start one. I might start both of those. We'll see. And then I did get a little bit of haul. So I went onto the Silver Needles website, and whenever I go there, I always check the last chance page just to see what might be there. There were a few things, but then there were some other things that I knew I've been wanting to get for several months. So I just got them. The first one being the American House Sampler from Annie B's. I wanted to get this for at least a year at this point. So I finally decided to go ahead and get it. And it only uses, you know, like 8 or so colors. And it looks like I have all these colors. So I could possibly start this maybe in May for Memorial Day. I also was able to pick up Mary Kemp 1862 from the Scarlet House. This is charted in Dinky Dyes and Classic Colorworks. Oh, it's got Gloriana silks. It's also got a DMC conversion as well as an overdyed cotton conversion. So I might do this in the overdyed cottons. I don't know. I also picked up House on Pear Hill from Blueberry Ridge Designs. I did also order House on Strawberry Hill, but that one was on back order, so that's going to arrive at a later date when she gets it in. I've had my eye on this one. When did this come out? I don't know. I don't see a date, but since it came out, this is the what is this? Floral Band Sampler from Samplers and Primitives. Oh, obviously this huge flower bouquet in the middle is like screaming my name. If it's got flowers on it, chances are it's on my wish list. So, love this. I love the font of that alphabet. It's so good. I'm going to save that for last. Next, who doesn't have this? Feast of Friendship, Blackbird Designs. For a long time, I thought, I'm not going to stitch that. Everybody has that. But I just keep seeing it and seeing it and seeing it. And I fell into the peer pressure, which no one was even pressuring me to do it. Is that 2 different blues in that house? It is. Wait. There's 4 different blues. Wait, no. There's 3 different blues in that house. I probably will not do that. Yeah, no, mine's going to be all 1 blue. But still, ugh. So good. That border is going to be a beast. The next 2 are from Jeanette Douglas Designs. I've got Summer Alphabet Garden as a whip, and I've wanted the other ones from the series. So this is the Autumn Alphabet Garden. And then I got the Winter Alphabet Garden. It's going to be that one right there. And mine are going to be stitched individually, not as like one piece. And then at market this year, the Spring Alphabet Garden has been released. But I did not pre-order that because after market, I'm gonna make a trip over to my LNS to pick up some of the flosses for these for sure. Possibly Feast of Friendship. Maybe this one. For sure, this one. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, we'll see. And then probably pick up some things that did come out at market. Maybe. This last one, y'all, this is the reason I even placed this order. And while I was placing the order, I just decided to pick up what I just showed you. Y'all, this was in Silver Needle's Last Chance, which I haven't checked since filming this video, so I don't know if this is even still available. But this is Reflet de Soie Leontine Breton. This was in the Last Chance for the pattern, y'all. And the Soie d'Alger Silks. I think I spent $35 for the pattern and the Soie d'Alger Silks. Oh my. Y'all, I feel like I've just robbed this shop. Like, oh my gosh. Those border flowers. The alphabet, the bird, the flowers. Oh. This one, like, has to get started ASAP. But yeah, the actual... Yeah, the Soie d'Alger. Oh, $35, y'all. So if this is like your thing, I would go ahead and check Silver Needle, see if they still have this available. Worth every penny for me. So I did also, since I got this in, ordered a few pieces of fabric, a few pieces of 36 count, just because this does have the Soie d'Alger. So those should be coming in later this week. And I might try to pair one up. I've got some 36 count in stash, but I don't know that any of them are the color that I want to use for this, because I want to use something very similar to the called for, which I don't even know what the called for is. Yeah. So other than that, here we are at 54 minutes. I'm going to go ahead and cut this video now. I appreciate you being here, coming back month after month. I love all of you. I hope that March is a fabulous stitchy month for you. And until next time, happy stitching.